What's up, YouTube? Diggy546. Subscribe if you want more videos like this. Like the video if you like the video. And I won't tell if you click that bell. But let's go ahead and get into this. So, I've been putting out my fair share of videos criticizing Kyler Murray. Mostly because we all know who should have won Rookie of the Year. Daniel Jones. We all know. He had more touchdowns and less games. Half the rushing yards, 4 less games. Might have had even the same amount of rushing yards as the short Lamar Jackson, Michael Vick. I mean, if you think about it, people have hyped this dude Kyler Murray up to like epic proportions. I'm expecting an MVP season at this point. But this is First Take, Stephen A. Smith. The title of the video, of course, caught my eye because it's Stephen A. Smith exposing that this dude is playing in a division with Russell Wilson, the 49ers who just got out of the Super Bowl, and the Rams who was in the Super Bowl the year before. So let's just calm down. Let's calm down and let's see how it goes. So let's get into this video.
The Cardinals finished last in the NFC West, and that's a loaded division, but they were scoring at a ridiculous rate last season. Are Chandler Jones and the Cards actually playoff contenders this upcoming season?
Contenders, yes, you have to say they are. And Chandler Jones is a monster, but he has a crime partner now in Isaiah Simmons, who, by the way, was probably the prototypical modern defender in this draft. Versatile and definitely
so
blue
Isaiah
chip.
Simmons
and then they even got that tackle, the big tackle, who slipped to them in like the 3rd round. Josh Jones slipped to them in the 3rd round.
Josh Jones was a good pick. He was definitely a good pick. I can't take that away. Josh Jones, I wanted Josh Jones at the end of the 1st round or the beginning of the 2nd. They got him in the 3rd, so that's a good pick.
To add to that whole thing, and a high impact lineman who like people were surprised was even available. And then you even look more at the
all right, you're not gonna repeat that. Josh Jones is good, but it's not like he's gonna be a Hall of Famer off the bat. And you got 4 other players on the line too. The offensive line wasn't that good last year for them, so let's calm down.
Team Molly at the mix of I mentioned some of the young talent and veterans and Larry Fitzgerald and all these guys. They have a chance to be
Larry
really
Fitzgerald
good
is a fossil
in the
at this
NFL,
point. He belongs
especially
in the
when a
museum.
young quarterback has that year under his belt. Fortunes can change.
This is probably going to get cut up because I already know how
something
First
like that
Take
for
get down.
Arizona. Very tough division. I would say the toughest in the NFL. So I don't know that they actually make the playoffs, but they will contend.
Look at see. This is how you know Stephen A. Smith is going to get into his bag, man. Whenever you look over and the camera going on Stephen A. Smith and you know you got something coming, and you see that little smirk on his face. Max Kellerman's serious. He's just serious. He's serious as hell.
Please, they ain't contending. I'm sorry. I see Arizona as 3rd place or last place. That's the best you can do. Seattle, San Francisco, and the Los Angeles Rams are in their division, and they're going to contend for what? For what exactly? I mean, please. There's nothing to think about here. I like Kyler Murray a lot. He's got tremendous promise, completed 64% of his passes.
Like I said, Seahawks got Russell Wilson. That's a walk-in 10, 11, 12 games. 49ers got a ridiculous roster. And they added some new pieces. 13, 14 games. Rams was 9-7 and they had a bad season by their standards. Where is this playoff run MVP season from the Cardinals going to come?
It's not that they're scrubs. It's not that they can't play. I'm not trying to...
Now, Stephen A. Smith will absolutely, he'll tear somebody apart. He will tear that game apart. He'll say that they're, everything but the worst player in the league, worst team in the league. And then he'll say, I'm not saying that they're scrubs. I'm not saying they can't play. Who said that they were... You're saying that they're scrubs. Come on, just be honest.
disrespect them by any stretch of the imagination. Although I have my questions about Mr. Cliff Kingsbury, all right? The only reason why he's made any news is that fly crib that he had on draft night. Outside of that, that's it. And even when you saw the fly crib, it always all it did was the crib was off the chain, no doubt about it. I'd like to see it. I'd like to know where it's located. I might want something like that. I understand that it was a fly crib. We get all of that. But this is a guy that never deserved the job to begin with because his resume on a collegiate level says that he.
Hey, and I got to give him props for that. He's not going to let that go. You don't care how Cliff Kingsbury, ended up this year. Last year, Cliff Kingsbury got that job because he knew Sean McVay, because he had like a cup of coffee with him, or I don't know, maybe they exchanged, they have a reading club together, but that's the only reason he got that job. And he came out and said, if I ever was an NFL coach, I'd draft Kyler Murray with the first pick. And he did it. Which is, to me, that's the best choice he could have made, because Josh Rosen, oh, God.
Those 6 games that they have on their schedule are a huge question mark. They ain't contended. The Arizona Cardinals can...
Listen, the Cardinals will be very lucky if they can go 500 in it. If they go 500 in their division, that's going to be an accomplishment. Because like I said, the Rams are not... if the Rams completely implode, at worst they're 7 wins. It's tough. If they can go 500 in their division, that'll give them a shot. But if they have a losing record in that division, which is more than likely, it's going to be tough, man.
In that division, hell no. They are not contending for last place. That's about it.
All I'll say is this.
And this is what I'm saying. It's not that I don't believe in Kyler Murray. It's not that I think he's bad. It's because he's playing in he's playing in the best division in the league, and he does not have the roster. And Cardinals fans, you all came up under my Kyler Murray video last time, and you were so bold, and you talked about him winning MVP and going to the playoffs and all of this stuff he was going to do. Please keep that same energy. Keep the same energy when it's week 10 and Kyler Murray has worse stats than Daniel Jones, or Kyler Murray is 5 and whatever, or wherever close to being eliminated out of the playoffs, and you telling me that he doesn't have enough help. His offensive line isn't good enough. The defense isn't good enough. Please keep the same energy that you kept a couple weeks ago when I dropped that video. Because if he's in training to become the MVP, he's in line to be the MVP, and his team is in line to be a playoff contender and a Super Bowl contender, I don't want to hear anything about him not having enough help.
Actually completed and everything. By the conclusion of the season, we were sitting here listing the quarterbacks in the NFC West, saying Russell Wilson, Kyler Murray, Russell Wilson 1.
Oh, and this is how you know that I'm not hating on Kyler Murray, because in my mind, that's already the rankings. Jimmy Garoppolo is no, not at all. Jimmy Garoppolo is not good. Jared Goff, he was good a couple years ago, but he's up and down. But if you asking me, how I'm ranking those quarterbacks, to me it's Russell Wilson, Kyler Murray, Jared Goff, and then Jimmy G. So Max has got a point right here, because he's the second best QB in that division. But the rest of those teams around those other 2 quarterbacks are so great that it doesn't matter, because Kyler does not have a good enough team around him.
Kyler Murray nipping at his heels above the other 2, like above Garoppolo, above Goff. That wouldn't surprise me.
Well,
especially not throwing to DeAndre.
Stop the presses. Stop the presses. Stop the presses, Max. I'm ready to fall off my chair. You really stepped out on a limb there, Max Kellerman. Kyler Murray might be better than Jared Goff and Jimmy Garoppolo. Just stop the presses. I'm about to catch a heart attack. What? Really? They all right.
Jared Goff was in the MVP
Jared
conversation.
Goff was really good a few years ago. What happened to him last year?
A couple years ago.
Max, what are you talking about? And you see us winding down right now. But Max, what are you talking about? Anyway, Cardinals not making the playoffs. Kyler Murray is going to be a great quarterback. but he's not winning MVP this year. Prove me wrong. Biggie 546. I'm gonna get out of here.